Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Taylor and today we're going to be picking my March TBR. I made a little jar. It's so cute, by the way. It has little mushrooms on it. Different prompts to help me pick out what books I want to choose from my TBR card. So I got this idea from another booktuber. I've seen it done a few times and I thought it just looked really fun and I wanted to try it out for myself. And I think I'm going to pick maybe 5 books to start with and then we'll see where we go from there. Just because I'm a slow reader, in February I read like 7 books, so I want to have room for a few other books if I randomly pick something up, because I am a mood reader, really bad about starting a book and then picking something else up that piques my interest more. So we're going to start with 5 books and see where that gets us. Alright, so we're going to start, shake this up really good. I'll put the lid on, shake it. And let's pick out what I'm gonna do. So, a book outside your genre. So for me, I read a lot of fantasy and a lot of romance, and I don't really go outside that. This is the 3rd book to the Truly Devious series. It is a YA mystery, and I typically don't read mystery, but I recently read the first 2 books and I loved them, so I think I'm gonna pick this as my outside my comfort zone, because technically it still is, because I'm new to this genre. So basically, if you don't know about Truly Devious, this girl, Stevie Bell, she goes to this school called Ellingham Academy. It's a school that this like billionaire built in Vermont for like really smart people. Goes to the school, she gets selected to go to the school, and she wants to become like somebody who like discovers crime and like solves crimes and stuff. To be a murder that happened a really long time ago in the 1930s at this school, and it kind of became like history. Daughter and wife went missing and got kidnapped, and eventually I think one of them died. His daughter was never found. A student at the time also was found dead, and there was this one letter, like a riddle, that they found, and the name on the riddle was marked Truly Devious. Stevie wants to find out what happened to like the school, because the crime was like never fully solved, because they don't know what happened to Alice and who killed her mom, and like what happened to the guy. And so there's like a lot that happened and it was never solved. Here, you know, many years later, she's at the school and she wants to figure out what happened. And then as she's trying to figure out what happened, other stuff happens. A student is found dead and a student goes missing. Just stuff happens and she's like, what the heck? Now she's trying to figure out that stuff. So yeah, it gets really interesting. The first book was a little slow, but then it picked up, and once it picks up, hold you in a grip hold and you're on a roller coaster. And the second book ended in a cliffhanger, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. I will probably be picking this up really soon this week. I'm filming this, it is February 29th, leap day, cool. I finished reading the second book literally today. I want to read the 3rd book. I might start it tomorrow, who knows. This is the first pick for book that is outside my comfort zone. So we have our first book. Picking the next to read, a book that has been hyped. But in the movies is one of these books that I haven't read yet that's really hyped up. I love Lynn Painter. This is definitely a good option. So like, I know it's gonna be really good, but I don't know if I'm ready to read it yet. Like, I'm not really feeling the romance right now. I've been really into mystery and fantasy. I think I'm gonna put this one back. I also have Hunger Games, which I know is really hyped up. You know, the movie just came out. I read The Selling Birds and Snakes, but I actually never read. This one I've kind of been putting off though, because I'm kind of a little scared, because I know it's so hyped up that like I'm kind of scared that like it's not gonna meet my expectations. So I've been putting it off, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a little bit, and I think I want to put it off a little bit longer. 6 of Crows. This book was really hyped up for a while, and I'm actually kind of in the middle of it, 22 pages in, and then I put it down because I started reading Truly Devious because I'm a mood reader. So I actually need to finish this. I have had this book for like a year maybe, and I annotated it, and I got 160 pages in. Like, this is all annotated, and then I stopped. It sat on my shelf with the bookmark in it for like a year. And then I tried to pick it back up again. Then I started reading Truly Devious and I put it down again. So I really need to pick this up. It's not that it's not, it's really good, but for some reason my attention span is just not holding on this book, and I don't know why. And I want to read it. Like I have Cricket Kingdom too. Like I need to read this book. I'm gonna go with this book because I need to read it. So a book that is hyped up, Six of Crows. If you don't know about some, basically it is a, let's see, Catterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz Breaker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he couldn't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. So, I mean, this book is really good. Like I said, I'm 100 pages in. I watched Shadow and Bone on Netflix. It's good. I love it. But I just haven't finished it. So, I need to finish it. So, this is I'm putting it in the stack. I'm gonna read this book. Finally. Eventually. We'll see. Picking the third book in the stack here. I'm gonna shake it up really good so I don't... The book you bought from the bookstore. This one is kind of, in a way, a free pass because literally all the books I have is a book that I got from the bookstore because I work at Barnes & Noble. So, I mean, obviously I'm using that employee discount and buying a lot of books. So, I'm gonna use this as a free pass. Okay, this one, I'm gonna go with Defend the Dawn. I literally just started it. I'm only like 10 pages in. So, I'm gonna go with this one. I actually tried reading it a while back and then I mood read it and picked something else. So I'm gonna pick this one back up again. It is the second book to Defy the Night. I love her books so far. I've only read Defy the Night and 5 stars. I loved it. So I'm really excited to finish reading this series. If you haven't read the first book is kind of like, I describe it as like a Robin Hood and like a Tangled kind of thing. That's the kind of vibes that it gives me. And so you have Tessa, who is like outlaw in a way, and then you have Prince, and he's really cool. I love Gorik. So yeah, it's just a really interesting thing. And so basically, this is the description for the second book. It has gone from masked outlaw to palace advisor. But even with her newfound power, she can't stop the sickness still raging. And the kingdom's supply of moonflower elixir dwindles all the while. Prince Gorik is trying to find a new way to lead, but it feels impossible to repair the rift between the royals and the people, or the one growing between him and Tessa. This one sounds so good. I think I'm gonna go with this as my next read. So we got 2 more to go. So 2 more picks. We're gonna see what else we get. A book with more than 300 pages. So this one should be really easy because a lot of books that I have are more than 300 pages. I really want to read Shatter Me, so let's see. Ha! Does this count? 329 pages. I think that counts. I'm gonna pick Shatter Me. I'm gonna go with Shatter Me. I feel like this is kind of cheating though, but 329, like that's more than 300. So this book is dystopian, it's really popular, and I have been dying to read it for the longest time. I just haven't gotten around to it. So no one knows why Juliet's touch is fatal, but the reestablishment has plans for her, plans to use her as a weapon. But Juliet has plans of her own. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovering a strength to fight back for the first time and find a future with one boy she thought she'd lost forever. In the electrifying first book in the Shatter Me series, it's a short little description, but it's all it needs to be. I know like a lot of people already know what Shatter Me is, so I'm sure you've probably heard about it, but I'm really excited to read this book. I read the first chapter before, like at work, and I loved it. Also, the short chapters are great, and I think this will be a really quick read for me. But it is starting another series. All of the books I have in this pile is the first series, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I really want to read this one, so I'm putting it on the list. Alright, so we have 4 books. We need 1 more to pick, so let's see what we get. a YA book. So this one is kind of like really easy because pretty much all the books I have are YA. So I think I want to pick a standalone because everything else I have is series. I think I want to go with Sky in the Deep. This is a Viking book and I love Vikings. I eat it up. I watched the show. I love How to Train Your Dragon. I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like, I love Vikings. I read Viking books. So when I saw this book, I immediately had to get it. This book is raised to be a warrior, 17-year-old. Her life is brutal but simple. Fight and survive until the day she sees the impossible on the battlefield. Her brother fighting with the enemy. The brother she watched die 5 years ago. Ooh, okay. Faced with her brother's betrayal, she must survive the winter in the mountains with the Reiki clan. In a village where every neighbor is an enemy, even every battle scar, possibly one she delivered. When the Reiki village is raided by a ruthless clan settling in the valley, Evelyn is even more desperate to get back to her beloved family. Given no choice but to trust Fisk, her brother's friend, who sees her as a threat. They must do the impossible, unite the clans to fight together, or risk being slaughtered one by one. Driven by a love for her clan and a growing love for Fisk, Evelyn must confront her own definition of loyalty and family while daring to put her faith in the people she's spent her life hating. So this sounds really interesting. Again, I really love that it's like Vikings and clans, so I'm really excited to like see where that kind of goes, and like she puts that into the story. And also there's a bonus scene, that's cool. And also, yeah, I'm excited to see, it looks like there's a little bit of a romance, like maybe an enemies to lovers. I did not know that this might be an enemies to lovers, which would be great because I'm a sucker for enemies to lovers. So hopefully that is in there. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to read this. So this is going to be my last pick for March. So let's do a little recap here. So here are all the books that I picked to read. We have The Hand on the Wall, which is the third book in the Truly Devious. We have Six of Crows, which is the first book in the duology. Then the Dawn is the second book in the trilogy, Defy the Night. And Shatter Me, the first book in the series. And then Sky in the Deep is a standalone, I believe. I hope it is, because I have so many series here. But yeah, so I'm starting 2 new series and working on finishing series as well. So I think this is a good mix. We've got dystopian, mystery, and some fantasy. So I think it's a good mix. So yeah, that is all of the books that I picked for March. It was really fun doing this little method with the prompts. I think that that's really fun instead of just like picking out of a jar and like having to read, you know, whatever it is. I think it's way more fun getting to kind of think about it and pick what goes to the prompt. So I really enjoyed that. So yeah, comment down below if you read any of these books and if you're excited to see my thoughts on them. Whatever I do read will be in my March wrap-up video at the end of the month. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that so that you can see my thoughts on these books whenever I read them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Make sure to check out my book talk I post daily, as well as my Goodreads, so that we can be book besties. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!